turn over here. We have, I have an assortment of different colors of fabric to choose from. This will be for the front of your pillow. And you have some options on how you design your printing. Now, the one thing we could do is we could practice on paper at your desk. Miss Bender, we're gonna, and then we'll set this up for printing on the fabric. I'm gonna go ahead and print on the fabric, but if we can set up some if you would feel more comfortable practicing on paper first, we can do that too. We'll get some tempera paint and some paper, and you can practice. When I get done with the demonstration, anybody that is finished with making their blocks, we want to clean up your materials and to get ready for printing. Okay, so I'm going to say that I've already practiced, and I'm thinking about on mine that I want to do kind of a center design, kind of like this. So I chose this golden yellow fabric, and I folded it in half, and then in half this other way, and I was just going to kind of crease it so I knew where the center of my fabric is. I'm going to lay this out. And what I have here are padded surfaces. Printing on fabric works best if you have a padded surface, so I've already fixed up some printing areas for that. And I have an assortment of textile paints in the bucket over there. You can choose what color. Notice I poured just a little bit of paint on this surface. I have some sheets of plexiglass, and I also have some lids that you can put the paint color on. And once there's one paint on one piece, let's just keep that paint, and we'll keep the sponge with it. And other people that want to use that color can use that. So we'll end up, after we get started, we'll have a few different colors going. So, but I know this is a pretty nice purple. So I'm putting a little bit of it on there. And this is called a dauber. It's like a little sponge, and it's got a flat surface. And so I'm picking up some paint on there. And then I'm going to hold my print block, and I'm going to daub over the top of it. Does that show up? So you can see that just the part that's raised, this is a relief print block, the part that's raised is taking the paint. And I'm going to do this, I'm going to rotate around a point. So I'm going to line this up here, and I'm going to mark on the back a little arrow, because that's the point that I'm rotating around. I refill. There's probably plenty on the sponge, but I need to reapply the paint to the surface. And then I'm going to line it up with that arrow to the middle. Normally, when I do this, I'm doing this over several days, and I would have a backing on here so that you could pick it up from the backing. But for those of you that have the carved blocks, we don't have time to do that. So you're just going to have to be really careful with your fingers that you don't put the paint on your fingers when you're holding this. Whoops. I have to clean that up. Sorry. So this is what I just printed on the fabric. Okay. I have some other print blocks here. I have some small ones. There's 6 different designs. I carved all these, and there's 6 different designs on each one of these. And okay, what I did on this one was I did the 4, and then I did an extra print design around the outside of it. So that's just one way of doing it. You could repeat it, just use your block over the whole surface of it in some kind of a repeat, or you could do random placement of your block. But there are some extra blocks here that you can utilize in your design if you would like. They're pretty generic types of texture designs. Okay. Does anybody have a question at this point?
It's cool.
It's cool?
It's cool.
Okay.
Can you do like another design? Like, can you do like a second design?
We're each only doing one print block. Now, in some places where I've gone, they've shared with each other. So if you have a classmate that you like their design, you always ask permission though. So may I please use your design on my piece? And so you can share.
Pat has brought extras for us that we can share some of her designs, Bianca.
Yeah.
So we could share some of those
There's
and add to yours.
these designs, and then there's also the Adicro print blocks over here, and some assorted designs in here that are up for using. So you have lots of options, and yeah, it's just that if you change colors, you'd have to wash it out, wash it off first.